Tensions rise as an airport is rushed while the United States continues to support Israel in this war. Oh man, another day, another step toward another possible World War III scenario. Although one thing is for sure though, we have yet to see the worst of all of this.
Tonight, chaos at an international airport. Videos circulating online showing thousands storming terminal buildings and the tarmac in Dagestan, the majority Muslim republic inside Russia. It happened shortly after a flight from Tel Aviv, Israel touched down. People swarming the plane chanting anti-Semitic slogans, preventing passengers from getting off. The chilling scenes come just as Israel's war with Hamas enters a new phase. Israeli tanks and troops storming positions in Gaza, with warplanes and howitzers relentlessly shelling targets.
That footage of the airport was cut short, but the long version, which I can't show here, has the mob trying to search. They're looking for the passengers of that plane from Israel with the clear intention to harm them. It's just one escalation after the next right now, isn't it? And what's more, protests continue to happen right here on US soil, and in a quick turn of events, Hamas leaders are surprised that the United States is actually going into battle. Wow. Let me ask you guys, are you in favor of the US committing to World War III? Just comment a quick yes or no on that one. And while you guys are at it, make sure to share this video, smash the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out a second on these urgent and critical updates, guys. It's all free, so don't hesitate to join the amazing community. Appreciate you guys. Now, even after another world war isn't confirmed, peace just isn't as popular these days, not even within our country. You see, a protest in New Orleans, Louisiana took a wrong turn as demonstrators from both sides got into a little bit of a scuffle. I'm talking about demonstrators that were pro-Palestine and, of course, pro-Israel. Now, the problem here is that this isn't an isolated case. In fact, more of these fights are breaking out all across the country, and, well, it's just awful. I don't know what else to call it. You know, it's absolutely awful that this has to happen. And I mean, this is happening right here at home, the country where we live.
Tonight, the crossroads of the world becoming a deep dividing point, with Palestinian supporters on one side of the street.
What brought you out here today?
To stand against the oppression that's been occurring in Palestine for over the past 5 decades.
Palestinian people have had enough.
While yards away, a tense face-off with dozens standing up for Israel.
We have a right to exist. We're not doing anything wrong.
I have friends who live in Israel. I have family who live in Israel. I've seen violence there before. We've all seen that, but this is really on another level completely.
As you can see, emotions are running high. This rally is now on the move. We're told they're headed straight to the Israeli consulate.
Palestine will be free from the river to the sea.
And similar scenes playing out across the country.
Right to resist, right to resist, right to resist.
The growing movement on both sides heightening security from coast to coast. The NYPD keeping close watch on the ground and in the air, launching drones to monitor today's events. While in Salt Lake City, police increased patrols following unspecified threats targeting Jewish institutions. Synagogues in Miami Beach and Beverly Hills ramping up their presence too. Tonight, the crisis in the Middle East fueling demonstrations thousands of miles away. But despite the conflict, some hope for peace.
People around the world need to be hopeful, you know, here in America and around the world, because whatever divisions we have, our humanity supersedes them.
It's crazy to think that we are this deep with this conflict. The protests don't start and end here, though. It's also happening all across the world, meaning that possible arguments and fights may be happening in different parts of the globe as well, which is why the United Nations and many other nations across the world have pushed for a humanitarian truce in Gaza.
In favor, 120. Against, 14. Abstentions, 45. Draft Resolution A ES 10 L25 is adopted.
You may be wondering, 14 countries want the war to continue? Who in their right mind would want this war to continue? I mean, countless people are getting hurt over there, so it's just insane to think that leaders exist in this time and age that prefer war over peace. And with that long intro, yes, I'm officially confirming that the United States of America voted against this humanitarian truce. Why is that though? Now you have to wonder, does this have anything to do with the warning that Iran has sent to the United States? Because believe it or not, They warned us yet again.
Well, Manus, we actually have a bit of your interview, that sit down you just conducted with Hossein Amir Abdollahian, and once again, he takes aim at the United States. Take a listen.
If the United States continues what it has been doing so far, then new fronts will be opened up against the United States.
Well, the United States doesn't seem to be backing down, and Hamas leaders are taking notice. A senior member of Hamas's political leadership said that the response from America caught them off guard. You see, they expected Israel to fire back. I mean, they attacked them head on, right? They weren't ready for that. Although this opens up a little problem for the US. You see, only 12 countries joined Israel together with Washington to keep the war going. And let me tell you folks, Israel was clearly not happy about how this all went. And it started with them saying that the UN chief had to resign because he was doing an awful job.
The Secretary General must resign. This building was established to prevent atrocities. How can the Secretary General, with his words, justify in any way the terrible atrocities that happened to our civilians, innocent civilians?
And it didn't end there when the vote ended to call for a humanitarian truce. Well, let's just say that Israel couldn't believe their own ears.
Today is a day that will go down in infamy. We have all witnessed that the UN no longer holds even 1 ounce of legitimacy or relevance. This organization was founded in the wake of the Holocaust for the purpose of preventing atrocities. Yet, the spectacle we just saw proves beyond a doubt that the UN is committed, sadly, tragically, not to preventing but ensuring further atrocities.
Do you guys agree with him here? Because we're in the minority at this point. And the United States, well, we're right in there with them. Again, is this the matchstick that will push the United States into another world war? This is a really big concern for many of us. Hello, we live in the United States and we've seen this. This war has been escalating throughout our streets, and it's probably only a matter of time until it spills on over into our homes. At least that's what many of us are fearing. Now the question is, will World War III ensure that Biden stays in office? Or could this be his last stint?
Because what I think is that the president needs to be just as courageous on this issue so that we keep the unity within our country for the support of the incredible things he has done. He is, I think, going to be challenged to explain an issue of this moral significance to people. The American people are actually quite far away from where the president and even Congress, the majority of Congress, has been on Israel and Gaza. They support the right for Israel to defend itself, to exist, but they do not support a war crime exchanged for another war crime. And I think the president has to be careful about that. And I would call him, because I know him well, I've had breakfast with him, I've had the honor of working with him, I would call him to bring us to a higher place, to let the American people, to really call to the American people on a moral issue of this nature. And then I think we can go forward and talk about the incredible things that he has done. But I am certainly concerned about his approach to this.
And with that, should any of us be concerned that the president of the United States, President Joe Biden, is taking us to World War III? Or is there absolutely nothing to worry about here? Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section down below. And before I go, I just want to thank you guys for your time. Please keep safe out there, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video.